Нормально? Годится?
Идет перевод в английский канал.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Mayors Roundtable. The session is about to begin. Please be seated. During the session, I kindly ask you to refrain from using your mobile phones. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Mayors Roundtable. The session is about to begin. Please be seated. During the session, I kindly ask you to refrain from using your mobile phones. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Mayors Roundtable. The session is about to begin. Please be seated. During the session, I kindly ask you to refrain from using your mobile phones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Mayors Roundtable. The session is about to begin. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please take your seats. Thank you for your patience. We'll be just another minute. We're waiting for a couple of distinguished guests, but thank you very much for your patience. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Honorable Governor, Vice Governor, Madam Secretary General, mayors and vice mayors, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We'll now begin the World Mayors Roundtable, Vision and Leadership Driving Smart and Sustainable Cities and Regions. If we could have everyone's attention, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. My name is Gary Fowley, and I'm the head of the ITU, International Telecommunication Union Liaison Office to the United Nations. The International Telecommunication Union is a United Nations agency for ICTs. It's my honor to be here today. Not only am I honored to be with you, and because frankly, you're leading us towards a world of smart, sustainable cities for all. But I also believe you're on the front line of leading us towards the completion of the United Nations Sustainable Development Agenda for 2030. So thank you very much for your commitment to WIGO your commitment to sustainable development, and your commitment to smart, sustainable cities for all. And if I could ask perhaps a little quiet from the back of the room. Thank you very much. Just so that we can make sure we hear all of the mayors and we can proceed with as quickly. I'd like to first provide you a little overview of how this session will work. It's going to consist of three major parts. In the first part, we'll hear a special presentation by the governor of the Ulyanovsk region, Governor Sergei Morozov, and that will be followed by a brief discussion with our roundtable of mayors. We'd be pleased to hear your comments and recommendations. I've been told the governor would like your feedback to help improve the region's strategy. And in the second part of the session, the WIGO Secretariat will introduce the WIGO thematic clusters. This will again be followed by brief discussions. This is a new initiative, allow WIGO members to work around various specific smart city areas and learn from one another's experience and pursue real projects in their cities. Finally, we'll have three city case presentations. Querétaro, Sejong, and Suwannee will share their experiences, challenges, and solutions. And the session will conclude with a question and answer session from the audience, so we look forward to having your feedback. At the end of the session, all of the roundtable members will be invited to take a group photo up on the stage and will join us for the mayor's lunch. Now, I would like to introduce our distinguished members of the roundtable, but due to limited time, I'll do this without calling out your names, but rather the cities. And I would ask for your patience and tolerance. I'm a Canadian with mother tongue English who speaks passable French. So if I do not pronounce the name of your city properly, I would like to beg your forgiveness in advance, and I will apologize personally after. So, to begin, we're very pleased to have representation from Accra, Bangkok, Dioglu, Bishkek, Blantyre, Cheboksary, Colombo, Daegu, Dolikal, Dimitrograd, Ekateringovsky, Gal, Goyang, Gwangmyeong, Istanbul, Kabul, Kampala, Karachi, Kostroma, Kursk region, La Union Province, the Union Province, Philippines, Magas, Minsk, Miraflores, Nelchik, Nandi County, Oktyabrski, Omsk, Penang, Penang, pardon, monsieur, Peshawar, Pokhara, Querétaro, Samara, Seberang Pere, Sejong, Stirlitamak, Taipei, Tangerang Selatan, Tatarstan, Tegucigalpa, Thimphu, Suwannee, Ufa, Ulyanovsk, Villa Tapia. From the Global Fund for Cities Development, representation from SAP Labs, the WIGO Secretariat, the International Telecommunication Union, Seoul, Ulyanovsk region, and the Institute of Information Society. Thank you very much for your patience, and please, a round of applause for all of those that are here. Okay, now it's my honor to pass the floor to the chair of the session, Mr. Wonsoon Park, the mayor of Seoul and the president of WIGO, for his welcoming remarks. Please go ahead, Mayor Park, but first of all, a round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Foley. Your presence, ITU, is very precious and valuable to WIGO. Thank you very much again. Honorable governors, vice governors, mayors, vice mayors, distinguished experts, welcome to the World Mayors Roundtable. Following the previous World Mayors Roundtable events, as the World Mayors Forum in 2008 and the third WIGO General Assembly in 2014, I hope that this year's World Mayors Roundtable become a tradition at the future WIGO General Assembly, so that the leaders of cities and local governments around the world can come together and discuss various urban problems and agendas. I'm sure that everyone here today recognizes that regardless of the size and the situation, leadership is an important factor in the city's future, and also the key determinant of whether or not the city will succeed in achieving its smart and sustainability goals. To achieve these goals, cities around have long-term roadmaps for sustainability, which meets the specific needs of the citizens and takes into account the specific circumstances of the cities themselves. For example, connectivity, openness of public data, civic engagement in decision-making process, regardless and readiness to implement cutting-edge technologies, private sector involvement in city projects, and so on. As all of you may know, it is not what kind of innovation we have, but how we make full use of the innovation that we have already had. Today's roundtable is an important opportunity to speak in depth about the many concerns and challenges that we face. I sincerely hope that through active discussions, who have come here out of deep concern for our cities can not only find effective solutions, but also be inspired by like-minded leaders who are pursuing their vision of smart and sustainable future. I look forward to learning more about the Julianospost region smart region strategy, as well as the newly launched WIGO thematic clusters, and also various case examples of our cities. Thank you very much. Spasiba.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you especially for pointing out that while we may live in different places and speak different languages, at the city level, there's much, much more in common. And again, this will lead us, I think, all of us, the world, into the future. Now I'd like to invite the governor of the Ulanos region and the executive vice president of WIGO to deliver a special presentation on the Smart Region Strategy, part one of our session. Please welcome Governor Morozov with a round of applause.
Good morning, dear ladies and gentlemen. I hope yesterday and this morning have been plausible and pleasant for you, and I hope the second day of our joint work will be as efficient and fruitful. Dear friends, the task of sustainable development is indeed going beyond just the technology itself. And it also includes economic, social, and political aspects. However, for a number of regions, and we see this, and we have been able to feel it, facing the global competition, we're now facing the key technology challenges, including digital economy issues, as well as smart regions, as a continuation of the strategy for implementation of a smart city strategy. What I mean is the experience of many of the participants sitting around the table, representatives of the EU, the US, Canada, Australia, and Southeast Asian countries. And I would like to point your attention once again to the number of member cities of WIGO, mainly and as well as due to the Russian cities, and in part due to Russia's active involvement and engagement. The concept of Ulyanovsk region as a smart city, which I presented yesterday, should also respond to these global challenges. It should help us unite, combine certain individual elements into one combined and integrated system, which I would like to touch upon later. Yesterday, I told you about our dream, which was also laid out in the strategy until 2030, and we're now working on the details of the 2020 strategy. We do not conceal the fact that we would like to become an affluent, profitable, and smart region with smart economy, smart and creative people engaged in the region's life. Why is it important to us? For us, because we are one of the largest smart regions in the Russian Federation. We are a region that is rightfully called the center for airspace, center for machine building, center for nuclear technologies, center for IT and software development. As you can see, this all has to do to our regional economy. We are quite an urbanized region. However, we have to be honest that the degree of implementation of the IoT, industrial IoT, is not as high as we wish it was. Prior to this, we have been forced to solve day-to-day operational issues that we had to face after the collapse of the Soviet Union. We have restored our region's economy. We have laid the foundation for a new economy. And now we are, in fact, trying to accelerate and catch up with the 4.0 economy. And not just the economy, but some other aspects as well. And this is precisely where our smart region concept is aimed at. So what do we have at the moment to fulfill such ambitious plans? First off, we have created a fully operational IT sector, which was due to the high human potential, fundamental high education, as well as international orders. Almost a dozen large universities and R&D centers, design bureaus are assisting us in the development of IT sector. The Russian state is also focusing on assisting domestic IT companies and the relevant startup companies. Our concept is aimed at the expansion of a domestic market for Russian experts, localization of IT production for our investors in Ulyanovsk region, to enhance competitiveness of our companies worldwide. Indeed, we have a number of very interesting information systems that both state level and municipal authorities use and utilize. We have accumulated a great number of important information and data, including open data. Yet we have faced the issue that all data, a lot of information has been disseminated and dispersed. So the task is to create a uniform information center, an information dashboard, to combine all these centers, all these services on one platform. A month from now, we hope that we will launch a big data center in the region, and that center will be created in pursuance of the governor's decree. The educational system is also catching up. We have started to work with smart human potential, starting with preschool. Innovative kindergartens are nothing new to us now, including schools and international schools. We actively work with worldwide overseas colleges and universities. However, the forms of education have to be reformed in order to prepare the so-called information era human resources. We clearly understand this, and we have faced a simple and in our day-to-day life. And this task has to be tackled using our smart regions strategy. And most important, why we're initiating this and trying to be at the forefront of the Russian regions. The task is to increase and improve the living standards. You simply cannot be a smart region with a great number of interesting projects, including innovative and investment projects, and at the same time having poor people, poor citizens. The implementation of smart technologies is aimed to solve old and age-old problems, to increase the affordability of healthcare. Obviously, we're not the leaders in this, and that's no secret. In the Russian Federation, we're not the first and the best. The task is to improve our public transportation quality. You may have seen that the public transport that you've been able to see on the streets is not innovative. Is not innovative by far to increase and improve the housing conditions, etc. Obviously, for this, the regional government and municipal authorities must change, should change. They should turn digital. They should engage and involve as many people as possible, citizens as possible, using the technologies, and to jointly create and offer new services which are available electronically. And I hope many of you have been able to see the concept in the presentation, and we would like it would be nice and important, useful for us to hear your feedback. I would like to thank you ahead of time for your interest in our regions, dear colleagues and friends, that we will be cooperating within the scope of the implementation of WeGo concept, and we will continue to exchange our best practices and experiences, and we will further business contacts, and we will continue to meet within the framework of WeGo, and we will continue to help each other to become smarter, and that means richer and more affluent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Governor. Thank you very much for your practical guidance, your willingness to overcome some very clear challenges, and really leading the way into a smart digital future. I was particularly impressed with your focus on the importance of data and the involvement, using that data and the involvement of all of your citizens to create a smart, sustainable city operation. Delegates, you will have a chance to share your thoughts on the initiative with the Ulyanovsk region. But I'd just like to tell you how to do that as we go forth. If you do wish to speak, just take your nameplate and put it up like this. We will hopefully have some time to do that. But before we get to your insights and comments, we'd like to hear a bit more about the large-scale digital economy strategy being implemented in the country. I'd like to give the floor now to the chairman of the board of directors at the Institute of Information Society, Dr. Yuri Holov, who will shed some light, particularly his expertise on this concept. Please, Chairman Holov.
Спасибо большое, господин модератор.
I thank you, dear Mr. Moderator. Thank you, Mr. Governor Morozov. I thank the participants of today's World Roundtable meeting. May I congratulate Ulyanovsk on becoming the first region in the Russian Federation to come forth with such a strategy of development of smart region and development of digital economy. I can say that the aspects that were set out in this conceptual strategy are quite modern and are at the forefront of the development. And I would like to wish for the next stage, the stage of development of a specific roadmap of implementation of these actions, to take into account the starting positions that were set out by Governor Morozov, that emphasize the strong factor of the Ulyanovsk region, the strong human potential that the Ulyanovsk region has. This is indeed a key factor to success of the implementation of this strategy. I can also safely say that on the next stage, And I think that the Ulyanovsk region will not wait a long way once once the program of digital economy for the Russian Federation up to the year 2024 is accepted. And I believe that that program will be adopted on July the 5th on the president's meeting. And I believe that the Ulyanovsk region will have to come forth before the end of the summer with a specific 3-year action plan up till the year 2020, which will be aligned with the national plan and will be complementary to the national plan. I also can advise to the Ulyanovsk region to make use of the results of the recently prepared analytical report about the level of development of digital economy in the Russian Federation, which was prepared by the World Bank together with a number of Russian consultants. And this report will also be quite handy in planning the projects of the first most importance. Only 2 days ago in Moscow, we discussed these possible steps. This contribution made by the World Bank in the development of the digital economy program will be quite useful for the level of specific cities and regions. I believe it will be the data of utmost importance. And I may give a piece of my advice to Governor Morozov to pay close attention to this report, which will be very useful in selecting the right position for the Ulyanovsk region. One more point that I would like to make is that this point was also a point of much debate when the national program was developed. Not only do we have to set out the tasks of developing human potential while developing digital and information technologies, we need to change the mindsets of specialists who learn and who train different disciplines, be it construction, be it automotive industry or aircraft industry. We must foster the skills of using digital technologies in those specialists, and the training programs for the development of those specialists must be revised and reviewed in order to incorporate the tasks of digital age. This is a no less important task rather than increasing the number of qualified specialists in the relevant spheres. This point I would also like to bring to your attention and to the attention of the universities which are located in the Ulyanovsk region. It is one of their tasks to revise and review their curricula. The final point is that the regulation and the working with barriers that we have amassed in the legislation of the Russian Federation, some of them, of course, will be removed on the federal level. But for the regions, this also presents a great room for improvement. We must do away with the barriers which still keep us in our industrial past. Those barriers on the regional level have to be removed. This is indeed a serious task, but once it's done, it will be a very good thing to form the digital economy on the regional level. Thank you.
Thank you for, I think, reinforcing what Governor Morozov said about the importance of human potential and capacity building, human capacity building. I think it's true to say that when it comes to smart, sustainable cities and sustainable development, all roads lead back to education for the most part, and it's nice to see the Ulyanovsk region taking a lead there. Thank you very much. Now, I expect anyway, that the Mayor of Seoul will have some thoughts on this. Mayor Park?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to applaud the efforts of Governor Morozov and the officials of Ulyanovsk regions for designing the big blueprint for future urban planning. And it includes all aspects of administration, such as the economy, environment, transportation, safety, welfare, etc. The strategy shows that Ulyanovsk region is strongly committed to utilizing digital technologies in solving urban problems, improving the quality of life of the citizens, and promoting the local economy. By listening to Governor Morozov's presentation, I could realize that Ulyanovsk region is striving to engage the citizens' participation power and strengthen the digital capacity in order to become a citizen-driven digital economy. But I believe that what is most important in implementing a smart city initiative is considering the needs of the citizens. Digital technology in administration should ultimately make the lives of the citizens better. So I hope that Ulyanovsk region continues to carry out the detailed action plans and achieves the smart and sustainable goals by 2030. So I also look forward to the Ulyanovsk region sharing these successes and lessons during the process with Uyghurs. And I understand that Ulyanovsk region is planning on introducing the citizen participatory budget systems. The Seoul Metropolitan Government, I'd like to give some, our knowledge and wisdom. We introduced a citizen participatory system I inaugurated in 2011, and also we innovated it in 2015, which enables the citizen to participate in decision-making process of a city project through a mobile application. It is called M-voting. So everybody can to vote, and then guarantees every citizen can vote, and it's respected in our decision making of policies. Over the past couple of years, Seoul has accumulated much experiences regarding the citizen participatory budget system. So if the Ulyanovsk region needs any advice, we would like to share our experiences and expertise, and also learn from the Ulyanovskers as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Park. Thank you very much for, first of all, for your general commitment to e-governance and your specific support of Uyghur, but especially for your emphasis on the importance of citizen participation as a key building block of smart, sustainable cities. I'd now like to hand over the mic to another innovation expert, Dr. Christopher Han from SAP Labs. The importance of having stakeholder approach in private-public participation, I think, can't be emphasized enough. Dr. Han.
And thank you also to Governor Morozov for a very inspiring sharing of your plans for this region, and for Mayor Park's follow-up commentary. I really want to echo the statement made that the application of digital technology is really for the improvement of people's lives. One of the most famous engineers from the US once said that technology does not replace humans, but rather enhance human capabilities. And that's what we strongly feel should be the case all over. With regard specifically to this region, the application of digital technology to improve people's lives, I would suspect that 80% would be universal across the globe. In other words, we can look at the way things are done in other places and say that the similar application here can also work very effectively. But I would say about 20% is probably unique to this region. And unique because of various factors, perhaps cultural, perhaps environmental. And it's that 20% that needs to be really highlighted and enhanced so that this region can not only develop in terms of its efficiency, but also from a cultural and a uniqueness perspective can really highlight the character of this society here. I work at a software company, and our company is heavily into this topic of how to improve society, how to improve organizations, both from an efficiency perspective as well as from innovation perspective. And if we look at, in the context of a city or a region, what are the essential activities that can benefit from the application of technology? These are clearly things like government services, our need for mobility. Rather than us, unilaterally deciding what might be the highest priority agenda, we could do so along with the citizen participation, as just mentioned, so that in addition to the problem solving, participatory problem solving, we can also look at participation to help define the agenda of problem finding. And that's something that I think technology can really help. So for example, every citizen, if you look at it from a sort of a technology framework, every citizen is a sensor. Is a sensor that can tell us real time what is going on in society. And nearly every citizen now has one of these mobile devices. And so the ability to real time detect things that are going on in our city and to communicate that and to process that information is happening nearly real time with very little cost. So what if we can harness this? And that would be truly participatory type of problem finding and problem solving that could be quite transformative in our way we approach this topic of technology and development. So with that, I would like to again thank you for making sure that this is not about technology. This is about being human-centered and how technology can support that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Han. I mean, absolutely, technology for technology's sake is a non-starter. I think if I understood you correctly, if we had basically affordable digital access and the skills to use that digital technology, people will identify and solve real problems in real time, and perhaps that is the key to that. And of course, that will only happen because of the work that you're doing at the city level. So now we'd like to hear from you. If you do have a comment, please, as I said, put your nameplate up and I'll call upon you. I can't believe I have a table full of mayors and public officials who have nothing else to say. Oh, no, I thought there we have one. Yes, sir, please, go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Honorable Governor for sharing your plans and programs related to smart UGNOS region. I come from Bhutan, a small country in the Himalayas, having China in the north and India in the south. We are a very small population of less than 1 million, and we also have resource constraints. I have been the mayor of the capital city for last 6.5 years. I'm into my second term. And we definitely would like to go for digital technology as far as smart cities are concerned. But that is a distant dream for us, being a resource-constrained country. We don't even have high-speed internet at the present times. So we definitely will have to strike a balance between technology and innovative solutions. When you talk about public participation, I have, especially in my own city, I have tried out coming up with community volunteers. My city is, again, a very small city of about 120,000 population. And we divided our city into about 60 wards. And each ward has 1 to 2 community volunteers. And all these community volunteers, with the help of smartphones, we get connected. We are on WeChat and we share problems. We also communicate with each other so that whatever infrastructure development happens in their community, they are being held accountable, responsible, and by doing that, we hope to, make our infrastructure last longer and have more impact on the society. So what I'm trying to say here is that like us, there are many cities in the world. We want to go for the best of best. You know, the Internet of Things, big data, real time, we all want to go for it. But then because of resource issues, we are not able to do it right away. So I wish and hope that, like us, all other cities in the world should start thinking in that aspect, that our distant dream will be to go for all this. But then we should not wait for that to happen. I think we can work with the communities, the society, and then make our cities smarter and collaborative. So this is my opinion on public participation. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Your Honor. One comment, big data. Well, big data is only as good as the little data that makes it up to start with. And big innovations usually start with things that are practical and scalable. So I'd very much like to reinforce that. Of course, having access to universal broadband, affordable broadband access is a key goal of ITU and of the world now. So thank you very much for helping to show the way on how it can be done without maybe as much expense as we had hoped. Any other comments? I know that will be a tough one to follow, but we do have another minute or two. And if we don't, we will move on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Governor, Mayors, for your very insightful presentation and strategy, and for the guidance that I think you're providing for all of us. To call upon my colleague in order to assist, yes, Alexandra, in order to assist our members in this process and provide better services, I'd like to call upon Alexandra, my colleague, Alexandra Sidorova, to introduce the WeGo thematic clusters from our stage. Thanks, Alexandra.
Thank you, Mr. Fowley. Dear guests, I would like to provide you some brief explanation of the WeGo thematic clusters. In order to assist WeGo members in this transformative process and provide better services, at the threshold of the next term, the WeGo Secretariat has decided to introduce a new action-oriented initiative, the WeGo thematic clusters. What is WeGo thematic cluster? It's a grouping of WeGo members clustering around a core area of interest in pursuing their smart city vision and objectives to share challenges, explore innovative solutions and success stories, as well as establish partnerships with an ultimate goal of making their urban communities better places to live. The clusters will be led by a thematic cluster lead city and thematic cluster members. For the initial launch of this initiative, we have a number of WeGo members who expressed their interest in joining or leading the clusters, and let me name some of them. You have the document in front of you as well. Living Labs for Open Innovation, Smart Government, Big Data and Data-Driven Policy, Smart Mobility, Smart Environment, Smart Economy, Smart People, Smart Street Lighting, etc. As you might have noticed, the scope of some clusters is quite broad, while the others address specific domains. So all WeGo members, they are welcome to also suggest the new clusters as well. WeGo members who join WeGo thematic clusters will receive a number of benefits, such as privileged access to customized smart city practices from around the world, unique opportunities to share experiences and forge partnerships with diverse smart city stakeholders like private sector, academia, financing institution, or like donor agencies, as well as speakership and networking opportunities at high-level meetings of WeGo and its partners, and also promotion through online and offline publications, such as the WeGo Smart Sustainable City Projects catalogs and others. So thank you, and we'll be happy to hear your comments on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you very much. I have no doubt that there is a spot for everybody at this table, maybe one or two spots for everybody at this table in this new and exciting initiative. And we will be expecting you to sign up before we let you out of the room today. That was kind of a joke, but it didn't go over very well. I jest, but I don't jest. I think there is no. This is where the innovative, practical groundwork will happen, and we do hope that you will participate. So thank you again for explaining this to us. I would like to give the floor to Mayor Park again to maybe elaborate and give us some thoughts on the clusters.
Thank you, Foley. I'd like to show the example of Seoul in relation with the thematic approach of WeGo. Cities around the world are faced with numerous urban challenges regarding environment, transportations, safety, and much more. So digital technology can be very useful and effective in finding the solutions to these challenges. Today, on behalf of the Seoul Metropolitan Government, I'd like to invite you, cities, organizations, and companies here to join the Living Lab for Open Innovation cluster to develop ideas to address these challenges. The Seoul Metropolitan Government has been striving to turn Seoul into an IoT Living Lab by 2020. With Bukchon in 2015, which is an area within the city, Korean traditional houses and very good tourist destinations. We are working closely with the private sector and with the citizens to develop IoT service, test them, and spread them throughout the city. We are providing the basic infrastructure and administrative support, such as wired and wireless communication networks and free Wi-Fi and public data. Also, through the Seoul IoT Center, we are providing support to startup businesses such as 3D printers, laser cutters, space to make prototypes, support for commercialization and market entry as well. So far, more than 50 Korean companies have participated in this project in testing and launching their IoT services based on their public-private people partnership in Seoul. Some of the successful examples are smart trash cans, parking sharing applications, care services for the elderly, and child tracking services, and smart home energy management services. You are looking at the webpage. As far as IT is concerned, if you succeed in Seoul, you will most likely succeed elsewhere in the world. Seoul has some of the most digitally smart citizens in the world who are very receptive for new technologies and are very early adopters. Also, the city boasts world-class digital infrastructures, so you can make phones using the cell phones in subway and in mountains as well. So active support for business incubators and new startups. So the entire city is a living lab and test bed for new technologies, products, and services. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Park. Thank you particularly for your leadership of WeGo and the commitment of Seoul and Korea to both smart, sustainable cities, but also to the provision of broadband technology for all. Your leaders in that way as well. And I'm struck by looking at the living lab of Seoul as really a microcosm of the world and the sustainable development goals. I think we saw maybe all 17, some example of all 17. So you provide inspiration to all of us, and the idea of city-city cooperation, I think, is key. So we look forward to hearing from you as well on how you can support your citizens through smart, sustainable cities. I'd like to call upon Mayor Sung Choi of Goyang City to comment on Goyang's readiness to lead the WeGo thematic cluster on smart government.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to meet and discuss all of you, the global leaders of cities. I am Mayor Choi Sung of Goyang, Korea. Goyang City has been pursuing the smart government projects at the forefront of the post-industrial revolution. Now, Goyang City's efforts are bearing fruits. Goyang City established 5 principal strategies for the Goyang Smart City. Firstly, we made a basic plan for Smart City, taking lessons from overseas best practices. Secondly, we made the control tower and the task force team for the comprehensive step-by-step approach. We try to make a sustainable smart city through linking between old and new town, harmonizing tradition and modernity, and connecting culture with smart city. Fourthly, we took advantage of existing smart city system to ensure maximum rate of return. Also, lastly, we'll establish a governance system for smart city, and it will be joined by civil society and expert groups. Also, Goyang City has the well-functioning real-time communication system. Downloading integrated app service on your smartphone, you can find all the information for your convenience, such as transportation, tourism, jobs, and public services. In this sense, we call Goyang Smart City as Goyang Smartphone City. As mayor of Goyang, locating in the center of Korea, I propose on extending Trans-Eurasian Railway to Korea. I already mentioned the importance of the connecting Asia and Europe through Russia at the press interview yesterday. Under the guidance of the President of Russia, Putin, Russia has already started a direct rail service from Germany to China via Russia. I hope that take a pivotal role of persuading North Korea to participate in these important projects connecting 2 continents into one. I also urge WeGo to pay more attention to lowering digital gap between 2 Koreas by achieving the railway passing through North and South Korea up to Europe to smart cities members led by WeGo will open into the smart global society. Like European Union, I hope that countries in Northeast Asia will assemble communities sharing common economy prosperity, let alone saving nuclear issues posed by North Korea. That Goyang's Silicon Valley projects preparing unified Korea will take a leading role in achieving this initiative. I expect members and associates of WeGo to progressively participating in this initiative as well. In the end, we'll be able to achieve unified Korea in the near future based on logistics and free access to information. I hope that every member and associate will take part in this peaceful movement for the unified Korea.
Thank you, Mayor Choi. Now, before I pass the floor to the mayor to the representative from City of Taipei, I just ask again if keep your comments brief so that we will have some more time for discussion at the end. But thank you very much for your insightful your commentary so far. Now, I am pleased to pass the floor to the City of Taipei, who's being represented today by Deputy Mayor Chin Rong Lin. Please, Deputy Mayor Lin.
Thank you, Gary. In order to focus the smart city initiatives comprehensively, the Taipei pattern perhaps can some sharing with you. We have a 3 strategic thinking and 3 approach. Regarding to the 3 strategic thinking is the number 1, government as a platform. Number 2, city as a living lab. Number 3, living lab for open innovations. That means the way we are foster the initiative of a smart city is quite necessary. The city need to be as the platform. Either way to do, we are trying to upgrade the public service by ways of using lots of technology. But the other way is you have to be investors. Because you are investor, you can call for new solution by the society. And so the second part is I want to share with you we also have a 3 approach. One thing is the top-down. The top-down, including the city play as a very important investor. We also foster the public housing, and also we taken most of the important things, upgrade the mobility as a very important investor. So this is a top-down. The second part is we are also call for initiatives from the investors. From the ICT vendors. So this is the second approach. The third thing is I think it's most importantly is whether or not you have to have the international corporations. When we are marching the smart city programs, we thought because this technology is all over the whole world, it cannot be done. It cannot be invented only domestically. You have to go abroad and searching for the more international corporations. Finally, I want to say that in order to echo the WeGo thematic clusters, Taipei City would like to have shown one thing we would like to join the WeGo as part of the member city. And secondly, maybe we can make some contributions to share with you the way we promote the smart city comprehensive in Taipei. And this is thank you, Gary, giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Chen Rongling. I understand that I'd like to invite Seberang Perai, who is a beneficiary city of WeGo's 2016 feasibility study on smart street and traffic lighting with Internet of Things and big data analytics. That he is being represented, the city is being represented by Councillor Hing-Mo Lee, and he has a few thoughts to share with us.
Good morning, everybody. I am Jason. I represent the Councillor of Sprang Prai. So Sprang Prai has been a member with WeGo since 2012. And in last year, 2016, we are selected by WeGo as a beneficiary city of the feasibility study project. And Sprang Prai and WeGo choose the establishment of street lamps and traffic light monitoring system as a pilot project. The project was started on September 2016 and end of December 2016. The objective of the implementing e-government smart system by using ICT for the street lamps and the traffic lights is to improve the quality and the safety of our stakeholder. Sprang Prai is the only sub-council in the country that have been selected by WeGo for the study and 7 in the world. So this project involved 10 experts and 3 is from Seoul, based on WeGo Secretariat, 2 from IGB and 5 from Gabotec. This smart monitoring system can detect lights that we are not working without the need for manual checking, and the result maintenance can be carried out faster, and the workforce to monitor the lights can be reduced. Additionally, we hope that the system can create elements for monitoring the use of wetland that way indirectly method of energy saving can be planned at each street light pole and the traffic light involved, so that if something happened to the pole, the information can be submitted to the person in charge immediately. So of course, we really hope WeGo can cooperation for another private projects, capacity building through the strengthening of the internal organizational from WeGo members, and of course financial from WeGo, and technical aspects from WeGo member. At last, I would like to say thank you, and would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to WeGo for this cooperation, and so much benefit and advantage were gained through this cooperation. We hope to be able to cooperate and achieve smart partnership with member city of Vigo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Lai. Now, we've heard some very, very interesting and innovative solutions to smart, sustainable cities, but of course they don't come without a cost. So I would like to now turn to, for a comment from one of our participants, Mr. Carlos de Freitas, who's leading for our new thematic cluster of member cities. He's going to give us an idea of, I guess, how one pays for all of this. How does one finance all of this?
Wow, 2 minutes for that? Thank you. No, one thing is I do represent here 2 organizations, FMDV, Global Fund for Cities Development, traditional network of cities working specifically on financing local economy development, and the UAIA platform that we created with UN Habitat to be sure that in the debate on smart technologies applied to urban development, we don't lose track on exactly what is key, which is the financing models for everything. And also the link with the citizenship. I would just like, as a first comment, to congratulate the executive team of WIGO and under the leadership of its Secretary General, Ms. Nam, because it's a huge, very interesting shift for WIGO and the clusters. We welcome them very broadly in terms of possible cooperations in the future. And I would like just to, because we will not have time to go to the financing models, but especially to be sure that every cluster that will be implemented will take into account some cross-cutting issues. The first thing is, of course, the financing strategies and models for each of these clusters, that we are sure that the members do exchange on these, because it's very important that we systematize the information on these issues. The second thing is the vertical integration, meaning the link at the national level with the national authorities based on the experience that these local governments have at the local level. And also the empowerment and capacity building topic, not only of the cities themselves, the administrations, but also the communities. And I would like to second the mayor from Bhutan on the very complex issues of getting poor communities integrated in the schemes for smart technologies. And the 2 last points, the city to city, peer learning and review, to be sure that it not only happens at the international level, but also at the regional and national level. It's very important if you want to duplicate, multiplicate the efforts. And of course, the climate change layer. In all the discussions we have now, if we don't address climate change, integrate climate change, then we will not be able to answer and to address the issues that are coming forward in terms of resilience and sustainability. And I want to make sure the WIGO executive team that will be supporting your efforts, partnering, and basically I'm sure that we will be bringing to the mayors and governors the options and the tools that they do require to implement their sustainable and resilient policies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carlos, for that very insightful, and really you could have taken another minute, I think, because at the end of the day, how these financing models will work, how they will, as you say, cross germinate amongst the. Sure, go ahead.
Just to say that we have a session, especially on this, session 5 this afternoon. You are all welcome.
Wonderful. A man of my own heart that wouldn't miss an opportunity to promote. A good finance person. Thank you very much. And also, I think an opportunity to reinforce the fact that smart city development and sustainable development and financing go hand in hand, because they're cross-cutting catalysts for economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental balance. So thank you very much for bringing that up, for your valuable comments. Now we'd like to give you a chance to tell us what you think again. If anyone has any thoughts, we have a few minutes to hear from you. Again, if you do, oh, please. Yes, sir. From Monsieur first, and then Madame. Madame first.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Musisi, Executive Director, Kampala City in Uganda. I'm very, very encouraged by the initiative on clusters, specifically because we thought as developing economies in Africa to start associating in a similar manner where we will be able to, where we have been able to share common challenges and solutions to these common challenges, and being able to manage to implement solutions within the constrained budgets that we have. So what we've done is that through this cooperation, we've been able to share capacity, experience, feasibility studies, so that we don't have to spend a lot of money reinventing the wheel and doing research in areas where another sister city has already found a solution. One of the areas where we're not very strong yet is the whole IT and e-governance areas. And we think that this initiative is going to be very, very useful to us who are members of WIGO in bringing us together with sister countries that have perhaps developed ahead, as I have had this morning and yesterday, to help us find solutions to the challenges, some of which are listed here, and others which will add on as developing economies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madame. So there's, as you well put it, strength in numbers. No one likes to have not enough resources, but I suppose the upside of that is it does bring people together to find innovative, efficient solutions, and thank you for leading the way on that. Sir, take the floor, please.
I'm Abdullah, the mayor of Kabul City. I heard a lot of persuasive, encouraging words from all the friends and colleagues in the past 2 days. I have two comments regarding the thematic clusters that are included in this agenda. First, from a developing country point of view, I think being smart is a better solution to tackle the challenges that developing cities are facing. And so from that point of view, I think being smart is something that all developing cities, especially in the broken states, to recover need to move in order to become more sustainable. I would like to suggest one new thematic cluster for smart infrastructure. I see that there's a smart mobility and smart lighting, smart buildings, but if we look into the infrastructure, which are more vital than some of the other areas that we see here, like when we talk about this infrastructure, a number of areas quickly come into our mind, like roads, bridges, water lines, sewer lines, electricity grid, and many others. So if we include a new thematic area, might be good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we go to our next session, I would just summarize with, I think, the points that you made very well. I've been following this issue since 1985, and since 1985, in terms of digital development, sustainable development, it has been the developing world that has led the way, because the developing world realizes the importance of this maybe more than those of us who have been brought up in the developed world. We take it for granted. And in fact, a few years ago, the least developed countries in what's called the Istanbul Plan of Action elevated ICT networks to be included as on par for investment with other infrastructure, water, energy, and power. And that was really surprising to the developed world in many ways. But I think that was when they realized that, in fact, not only is the developing world leading the way on this, but they will show the developed world how to get there. So thank you very much to all of you who have made similar comments. And very much support your initiatives and your support of the thematic clusters. So we'd like to move on now to part 3 of our session. Oh, yes. Yes, we are tight for time, and in these presentations for the next session, we're going to hear from the cities who will be sharing their challenges and success stories, and we'll do this in alphabetical order. And we've asked that they take only 5 minutes so that we can stick to time. I would like to present the first. There will be 3, and the first will be from Mayor Marcos Aguiar Vega from the city of Querétaro. Please, sir, if you would go ahead and show us the way to smart, sustainable cities from your perspective. Mayor Vega will be followed by Sejong City Mayor, so if you could be ready.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Mayor of Seoul, Korea, Park Won-sun, Governor of the region of Ulanovsk, Sergei Ivanovich, Secretary General of WIGO, Jong-suk Nam, and thank you to all of the people that is in this event. First of all, considering that technology is a key player in improving the quality of life of our citizens, this municipal administration has set in place initiatives that aim to supply wider and better digital services, generating public value by taking full advantage of the benefits that digital age provides. It is for this reason that we have designed a master plan called Querétaro Ciudad Digital. This master plan involves every initiative in all areas of the administration. Internet access throughout the city. It is essential to provide citizens with tools that enable access to all digital services that are offered by the municipality. Taking that into account and making use of the technological infrastructure already in place, the public internet program was redesigned and it is now wired through a fiber ring across the municipality, expanding coverage, becoming more cost-effective, and making internet browsing faster and more secure for users. Online services. This administration began with only 8% of municipal services available online. Through a variety of platforms and portals, a collaborative platform was developed and implemented. The result is the consolidation of a single portal that concentrates all of the municipal procedures on the web. We have currently managed to digitize 54% of our procedures, and in the coming 10 months, this administration will have digitized the entirety of paper-based services provided to the citizens of Querétaro. Through the Open City portal, the municipality publishes all information available to our citizens, making all our processes clear and transparent. On this portal, our citizens are able to access details of a municipality actions such as financial progress and transactions, as well as goal accomplishment. Open City is a transparent window to the actions of the municipal government. App Querétaro Ciudad Digital. A year ago, the municipality made available to the citizens of Querétaro a new service pathway, the Querétaro Ciudad Digital mobile application. This app is becoming the main channel of communication between citizen and government in order to assist the population in a variety of realms. This innovative plan has not only improved our response time, it has also improved the quality and reach of our services. Through these developments, the quality of life of our citizens has greatly increased. Querétaro Ciudad Digital enables citizens to report infrastructure issues throughout the municipality, helping us improve our city. Additionally, the app has 2 emergency buttons directly linked to the Operation Center of the Ministry of Public Safety. Once it is activated, it offers real-time assistance. The app also allows citizens to pay property taxes in a safe and efficient manner. In addition to all this, Querétaro Ciudad Digital is the only government mobile application in Mexico that enables usage without consuming paid data services. Innovative city, positioning itself as a smart tourist destination through tech initiatives within museums and tourist sites. We have developed a mobile tourism app which seeks to promote digital economy and to increase tourism revenue. With the objective of linking academia and government, the municipality has organized 2 hackathons where undergraduate students are encouraged to code solutions focused on social causes. As an initiative, the winning project receives municipal funding to develop their project. Smart city. A digital city is also a smart city, and it is for that reason that the government has implemented actions aiming to deliver more and better services. In conjunction with the firm Steer Davis Lieb, the municipality has designed a mobility master plan derived from the implementation of the free school transportation program, which seeks to reduce the number of vehicles on the street, taking children and young people in a safe way to their academic institutions, benefiting the economy of our local workers. The municipality will implement a program of shared bicycles with 450 bikes and 50 stations to change the way people from Querétaro move to their destinations. In addition to these initiatives, the municipality is currently replacing traffic lights with intelligent and traffic light systems, reducing commuting time by up to 20%. This measure also reduces pollution. Through an agreement, the municipality will begin to collaborate with the Waze mobile app to participate in the Connected Cities program, which seeks to exchange valuable information in order to reduce traffic. Projects to develop. As a result of the second hackathon, the municipality will be developing a urban operating system, which will collect information through a mobile app about citizen perception classified by zones and schedules. With the information received and generated, the municipality will design mining and data analysis initiatives to help guide decision-making processes. The above mentioned initiatives and strategies are innovative and important because it is through them and through advanced technology that the municipality can develop tools to strengthen the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, for that inspiring example. Querétaro's socially effective and efficient and economically effective and efficient approach to participatory involvement of its citizens and effective delivery of services. I'd now like to invite Vice Mayor from Sujan City to make his presentation, and I would ask the Mayor of Swanee from South Africa to be ready to go as well. Thank you.
Здравствуйте. 잘 주무셨어요? 아무래도 한국 사람들이 많으니까. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kang Junhyun, and I am the Vice Mayor of the Sejong City in South Korea. It is a pleasure to meet the Honorable Park Won-soon, Mayor of Seoul, and all the distinguished WeGo member city officials. First of all, it's a sad day because despite huge effort, Sejong City failed in its bid to host the next WeGo general meeting in 2020. Sejong City became a special self-governing city in 2012, planned and initiated by the central government in its aim for development that is more balanced across the nation. Sejong City is located in the center of the country, and it is around 75% the area of Seoul. As of January 2017, our population had grown to 250,000. Currently, 55 government agencies have relocated here, with more than 18,000 government employees. The city boasts the largest urban green area in the country and is Korea's first ring-type city, with the park and the center and the major facilities near the city limit. This year is particularly significant in that it is the 10th anniversary of the construction startup and the 5th anniversary of Sejong City's inauguration. It is also an important opportunity to look back on the past 10 years and prepare for the next 100 years. With this in mind, it is my pleasure to introduce Sejong as the smart city in which everyone wants to live and the sustainable urban area, working to improve quality of life for its residents. The goal of Sejong Smart City is to construct an eco-friendly, sustainable urban environment by converging ICT and eco-friendly technologies, and eventually improve the quality of life of our residents and our urban competitiveness. Sejong Smart City is three-phased ubiquitous service construction project to be completed by 2030. We are building a 411-kilometer long, ultra-high-speed private communication network throughout the city with the Sejong Smart City Center, located at the heart, acting as the control tower. Sejong Smart City Center integrates infrastructure that collects and analyzes large volumes of data with smart services. This is done through such facilities as the traffic situation room, which collects and processes traffic data and provides information on traffic flow. The security control room, which is responsible for the safety of the city and through integrated systems. Let me go into a bit more detail on some of the prominent use services of Sejong Smart City. First, the safety service to ensure safety for the city's population. About 3,000 multipurpose surveillance cameras and 450 emergency bells have been installed and are monitored by the city. In addition, some surveillance cameras can identify any wanted license plate numbers. Next is disaster prevention service. Wildfire surveillance cameras are installed at locations overlooking overlooking the city. Heat-sensitive cameras are installed at the top of the surrounding mountains. Police and urban disaster service provide information out, including fires, traffic, and other natural disasters, as well as traffic accident, through the bus information system, smartphone apps, and an online portal, as we seek to protect life and property. Then the transportation service, traffic situations are reported in real time with an intelligent transportation system, while the bus rapid transit is given priority at traffic signals. Estimated bus arrival times are also provided. All this is part of our approach to become a city geared towards public transportation, where public transit accounts for 70% of modal share and bicycle account for 20%. Next is the environmental service. Instead of garbage trucks, an automatic waste collection system is in place. Here, waste is thrown into sludge and collected through underground pipes and facility for sorting into recyclable and non-recyclable waste. A total of 3,030 public share bicycles, known as O-Ling, are available for rent at unmanned services centers for use on the city's 401 kilometers of bicycle paths. The city and its citizens can thus work together for a greener environment. Lastly, I will go over our plans for the future in preparation for the fourth industrial revolution. The city is planning online to offline policies in the interest of services that are personalized for citizens through the processing of data, which is collected offline. This O2O-based policy aims to provide optimized administrative services through the cloud service and analysis of big data. We plan to implement this smart city platform, a remarkable operating system for our smart services, future research and development on more O2O services is essential as the model has enormous potential for policy making through the application of diverse technologies, including big data and artificial intelligence. As we engage in cooperative research with other member cities in O2O technology in the areas of transportation, energy, the environment, and all others, we will create new value and share the benefit of working together. Thank you for your attention. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Mayor Kang. Well, you may not be the site of the next WeGo General Assembly. Your innovative city planning and your strategic and visionary approach to the future of smart, sustainable cities is really, truly an inspiration for all of us. Thank you again. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to call upon our final presenter, Mayor Mzimanga of Swane, South Africa. If you could take the floor, sir. And my apologies for the pronunciation of your name.
Thank you very much, Mr. Foley. Good day to all colleagues from around the world. Indeed, a great pleasure to be here with you and to represent the capital city of South Africa, the great city of Tshwane. Here we go. The city of Tshwane is not a traditional municipality. It is a city in transformation, where the city's leadership is continuously seeking ways to expand the capacity of the city to deliver excellent services to its people. And through continuous learning, we are improving each and every day. We are the third largest metropolitan in the globe by landmass, and arguably the single largest jurisdictional area within the globe. We host the second largest number of embassies in the world outside of Washington, having just over 3 million people in our city, a city that has grown from before 1999, a city that had only had about 1.6 million people to now 3.1 million people in the capital city. That is just a brief history of where we come from as a city. We've had a number of smaller municipalities that was amalgamated in 2000 to establish what we now know today as the capital city, the city of Tshwane. I will talk to a number of the slides as we progress. We have a great economy that is still growing right now, and for a developing city, I think we are doing fairly okay, when we can do much more in the years to come as we move into the new, smarter ways of doing things. This is one of the greatest contributors in our capital city. We have a BMW assembly plant, which is located on the northwestern part of the city. Just a brief background of where we are in terms of the economy of the city and the contribution thereof. Due to time, I will not go through that. Our contribution to the GDP of the country is about 270 billion rand, which is about 2.21 billion US dollars, with an average economic growth rate of in the last decade of about 3.5%. The current real economic growth rate is at about 1.3%, which contributes about 25% to the provincial economy and contributes about 9% to the national economy. This is one of the initiatives that we came up with. We call this the Tshwane Bus Rapid Transport System, where we are trying to encourage more and more people to move away from using private vehicles into using more of public transport. That is more reliable, much more secured, and that is also eco-friendly. I've spoken about the economy of our city. It has been the best performing in all the municipalities in South Africa when it comes to growth, but we're seeing now a decline due to a number of factors, also including the global recession that we have been experiencing. Our people, we have one of the youngest populations, I think, in South Africa, where about 38% of our young people are below the age of 35, which creates a great opportunity for us, but also a number of challenges if you are not able to provide for services, if you are not able to also provide for working opportunities for these young people. It can lead into some serious challenges going forward. We have divided the municipality into 7 regions, with Region 1 being our largest populated area, which is the northern part of our city, which has about 28% of the total population within the city itself. And Region 3 and Region 4 being the areas which are more affluent, which has less people in them. But Region 4 seems to be now picking up, where people are trying now to move closer to economic opportunities. And this is why I was saying yesterday that one of the things that we need to start talking about in this platform is how do we ensure that we have data that we're able to collect, knowing exactly who we have in our cities, where they're coming from, and what kind of services do they require for them to have a meaningful life in the capital city. This, again, a breakdown of the areas that we have been focusing on. And our environment. As I said, we have moved closer towards getting more and more people away from using their own vehicles into using the public transport system or the non-motorized transport system. We have now also ensured that we introduce a number of other initiatives, including the smart card, which is now connected or is allowing people to connect different transport modes, from trains to buses to taxis as well, using a similar card. Our sustainability program, we have now established a number of sustainable projects in the capital city, including installing solar geysers in the subsidized or government houses that we are providing to the people in the capital city. Each and every house now that is a house that is subsidized by government is receiving now a solar panel that is they're able to use. We've also now started using what we call a bio-to-watt in the leading industry scale, the biogas waste to energy company in South Africa. The plant is located in Bronkhorstspruit and installed the capacity of about 4.6 megawatts of power generated out of the 120 tons of organic waste produced on cattle farms. The green power produced at this plant is brought and utilized by the manufacturing plant of BMW South Africa, situated in Roslyn, the one that I was showing you earlier on. We've also introduced the Kohasaran material recycling facility, which is a public-private partnership with the new GX that creates the new economic activity and revenue streams from waste material, while at the same time decreasing the amount of waste and would have gone to landfill sites, thereby relieving the pressures of the limited natural resource that we have in the capital city. One of the things that we've also now started introducing, after realizing that we have a growing demand for water, that we now have about 987 megaliters of water that is demanded in the capital city right now. And if we are going to move forward with the rapid urbanization that we are embarking on, by the year 2055, there will be 2,600 megaliters demanded of water a day. And this is something that we have to plan for, and it's something that we are already working around in terms of the water reticulation plants. We have 3 water reticulation plants, Redflay, we have the Temba, and we also have the Reval that also needs expansion so that we are able to meet the demands. I'm not going to go too much into that. One of the things that we're also doing is now coming up with what we call the alternative smart development future, where we are also now looking into ensuring that we are able to not only communicate with, we're not only able to communicate with our citizens through platforms that are available, but we are also making sure that we are able to also provide free internet services to them throughout the capital city. There's more now people that are able to access the internet through the free Wi-Fi that we've introduced in the capital city. Up to date, we've had more than 2 million devices that have been able to connect through the free Wi-Fi. That makes business and also the business of government easier. I have been rushed here. The smart city concept as well. We are, as I said, we have introduced what we call the Tshwane Wi-Fi, which up to date has had unique connections of 2.7 million of user interactions. We have downloaded data of about 3,301 terabytes with 600,000 unique users that are monthly users to the system. And that is the breakdown of the female versus male, and then also the devices used on a daily basis. We are providing 500 megabytes of free data per day to over 1,000 Wi-Fi hotspots at speed of 15 megabytes per second to our citizens. We've also introduced the REN public transport system that I spoke to you about earlier on, and the Tshwane portal, which allows an online customer interface with the city on accounts-related issues, also on service delivery matters as well. And that is the Tshwane in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, and thank you for your very impressive manner in which you've shown us that being a fast-growing city and one that's facing a number of challenges doesn't mean that you can't be smart and sustainable. In fact, as you've shown us today, being smart and sustainable is the most effective way to meet those challenges. So in concluding today, I'd like to just say that obviously what I've learned from this, it doesn't really matter whether you're a small or a large city, a rich or a poor city. Smart, sustainable cities come in all forms, and that all cities have much more in common than separates them, and that it's together your innovative, smart solutions, which all depend upon participation of your citizens, and which you are making possible through access to digital technology and the digital literacy to use and create solutions that will be smart and scalable and sustainable, serves as a model, not just for other cities, but I think for the whole world, and as I've said in the past, will lead the way in terms of achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So thank you very much for this very insightful commentary today and the case studies that we've seen. I'm afraid we won't have time for the questions that we have. We have a number of questions that were prepared by our students. Now, however, I do want to say one thing. If you do provide us with those questions, I've been assured by Madam Secretary General that we will get answers to you. And I want you to know as well, we often talk about youth as being the leaders of the future. Well, when it comes to digital technology, students, you are not leaders of the future. You are the leaders now. You're the digital natives who have been brought up in this environment, unlike those of us who are digital immigrants. You are the ones that understand this technology inherently and will show us that smart, sustainable solutions begin not just with our generation, this generation sitting around the table, but actually began with yours and will lead us into a very bright future. So thank you very much for your being here and your commitment. And finally, my last thought, please I want to encourage all of our WeGo members to join the thematic clusters. These clusters are going to be incredibly important in not only showing the way for the future of WeGo and its strategic development, but in showing the way of the world to sustainable, smart, sustainable development, smart, sustainable cities for all. And for non-WeGo members who are here, please join WeGo. Please come and help us make this reality possible. And then join a thematic cluster. So with that, I'd like to thank all the governor personally, the mayors that are here, the vice mayors, and all the administrative officials who have made this possible. Thank you for your commitment and all the very best in your innovative approaches to smart, sustainable cities for all. And a round of applause for all of you. Now, I believe we're supposed to go to the stage for a photo. Would you like to? So if everyone would once again move up there, and I would, those that, how do I say this politely? Those that are vertically challenged might stand at the front. Those of us that are not quite so vertically challenged might stand at the back. It makes it easier for the photographers.
Thank you, Mr. Fowley. All participants of the Mayor's Roundtable, can you please gather on the stage for our group photo? I would also like to announce that there's a special lunch planned for our mayors and governors, vice mayors, vice governors of the Roundtable. There's a shuttle waiting for the participants in front of the Hilton. Thank you.
Dear guests, first the Roundtable members. Thank you. Dear mayors, vice mayors, governors and vice governors, please go to the shuttle bus, which is waiting for you in front of the Hilton Hotel.
All participants of the roundtable, please head to the shuttle for your special mayor's lunch. There's a shuttle waiting in front of the Hilton. Thank you.
Mayors, vice mayors, governors, and vice governors, please go to the shuttle bus in front of the Hilton Hotel. Thank you.